Why is the internet so torn about this controller? So just for context, I posted some shorts about this very controller and the internet was split. Some people absolutely loved it while others hated it. So let's go through all the features of what it does and I will kind of explain why I think it went viral. It got so far like 8 million views on YouTube. And I will explain why people were so divided and we'll go from there. So this controller is called the NYXI Imperial Controller. It is for PC, Switch, and mobile. And that's the first reason why people were upset about this, is because it's not Xbox, even though it kind of looks like an Xbox controller, and it doesn't do PS5, and a lot of people wanted that feature. Why do they want that feature? Like, why don't they just get another controller? It's because of what this can do. So if you look on, when you're facing the controller, when you have it in your hand, on your right hand, there is a little toggle that you can swap the ABXY like that. So ABXY can easily swap. You don't need any software. You don't need to do anything tedious. It's just a little tiny switch and you can swap ABXY. So when you're on Switch, they're in the correct orientation. And when you go to your PC, they can also be in the orientation. Also, a lot of people have mentioned that if you do emulation, just playing multiple games, and some of them, they require ABXY to be in one orientation, and some of them want it to be the other. This is just so simple. There are other controllers that can do that, but most of the time you have to like pop out the buttons or reset something in settings. And if you are constantly using this controller between platforms, between games that need different settings, this can do it in like a millisecond, or depends how fast you are. The second thing that makes this controller really, really cool are the tension adjustment sticks. So if you turn the adjustment left, it makes the stick super, super loose. This is for people with like carpal tunnel. This is for people who just want the sticks to be as loose as possible for certain games. Everyone has their own preferences. And you can go to the right and it makes it really, really tight. This is how I like it. I play a lot of Smash Bros. And I like it to be as tight as possible. And you can do it anywhere in between. Both sticks can do that, which is phenomenal. And then the D-pad, a lot of people were kind of upset about the D-pad because in the box it came with this D-pad, which a lot of people just did not like the look of. But no, they do come with a secondary D-pad that you can just swap out, and it makes it look a lot more traditional. As for other buttons, it does have the little blue logo in the top. That is not customizable. The RGB is just always blue, so there's not a lot of RGB. It's just always blue. And then the triggers. People love triggers that are adjustable. You can change them to be mouse click, so that makes it really quick, or you can swap that out and it makes it a lot more give and makes them a lot more mushy. Let's go back to the sticks. I forgot to mention the biggest thing is that they are TMR, which means like no stick drift or very limited stick drift, because TMR is like Hall Effect 2.0. If you don't know what Hall Effect is, it uses magnets instead of physical connections to tell where the Joy-Con or the stick is. So with less moving parts, that means less pieces to fail, which means less likely to get stick drift. So TMR, if you've heard that term, a lot of new companies or new controllers are using it. And so far, I've had no issues with TMR, and I absolutely love it. So you're not only paying for a controller that can swap ABXY, that you can adjust the tension on your sticks, but you can also rest assured that it probably won't get stick drift. So there are two back buttons. Some people love their back buttons. I'm not really one of them. So that is usually a feature I overlook in my reviews. I should probably mention it more often, but yes, there are two back buttons on the back and you can program them. You can connect this NYXI controller to an app and then you can do all the customizations. You can map those buttons, M1 and M2 buttons. So if you like your back buttons, this has back buttons but no paddles, which is a lot of people seem to really want paddles with this. And then you've just got your traditional other buttons right there. So why was the internet so divided about this that they argued and accumulated 8 million views on one of my YouTube shorts about this controller? Well, first off, it doesn't work with Xbox, even though one of the layouts for the ABXY is obviously the Xbox layout and then the Switch layout. And so people were really upset that it did not work with Xbox. And a lot of people were asking, does it work with PS5? They want to know if it's going to be the square, triangle, X and O. No, it's just the letters. So no PS5. And I kind of understand because there's no touchpad here. So like, why would you even want this for PS5 if it doesn't have the touchpad? I understand more for the Xbox fan people because this is a missed opportunity for NYXI. NYXI, if you're watching this, I don't know how you can do it, but somehow you need to make a version of this controller that works with PC, Switch, and Xbox, and people will buy it like crazy. That needs to happen. So no Xbox support, which is so sad. And then it works with PC and Switch, Switch 2, and mobile. And then a lot of other people were just saying it's so dumb that your ABXY can change like that. You should just memorize what the ABXY should be and just go from there. Well, problem is, there are some people who, when you're playing a brand new game and it on the screen it says hit A, if your ABXY are in the wrong orientation because you changed it in software where A is B and B is A, there are people out there who really need to see the ABXY for the orientation that they are. If you pass this controller to a friend who's never played Mario Kart, let's say, and then they're like, how do I accelerate? How do I do this? And you just blurt out, oh, click B, click A. They're going to look at their controller and they're going to click that button and it's not going to do what they want. But for sharing games, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of new gamers out there who have never played certain games. And if everything's messed up in the software, then it just confuses them. So this one, if it's an A or a B or an X or a Y, that's what it is. It just changes its orientation. So that is why you need that switch. And I already talked about this earlier, emulation. There are certain games that swap emulation. You play one game and ABXY is in one orientation, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about. And then people weren't really as divided with the tension stick. Some people absolutely loved it. I have some very nice comments in my videos where they're saying that this feature with the tension is like the best thing ever. Like they get carpal tunnel or it's just too tight for their hands, so their hands hurt after a while. But once they loosen the sticks, they are just so loose and comfortable that it allows them to play the games without pain in their hands. And then the last one was the D-pad. People hated on this D-pad. They didn't realize that this is the one that came with originally. They didn't realize that you can just swap it out. It's super easy and it comes in the box. As for connection, this works with Bluetooth, a 2.4 gigahertz dongle, like a little USB adapter that you just plug into whatever device. So you don't need Bluetooth, it just plugs in. And then it works with the Nintendo Switch. So there's 3 modes on the back, as you see there. Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz, Nintendo Switch, and you can wire it in. So it comes with a cable, just plug it in, it can be wired. If you want to be wireless but no Bluetooth, let's say your PC does not have Bluetooth, just use the adapter, and then just connecting it to the Switch, just use Bluetooth, and away you go. I really like it. If it could work with the Xbox, it would be a no-brainer for a lot of people. If you have an Xbox and a PC and a Switch, yes, this thing is amazing. Will NYXI be able to add Xbox support to it? I don't see it because there's a lot of red tape. So they can't get official Xbox support. There might be a way with adapters or something. I have not looked into that. But yeah, that is why the internet is so divided on this little controller, the NYXI Imperial Controller. For pricing, when I made that video that went viral, it was on sale for $60. I think its original price is about $120, but I've never seen it go up to that price. It's always been on sale. So what are your thoughts? Would you have gotten this controller if it support Xbox? Is this something that you're now interested in now that you have more information about it? Thanks for watching. Again, let me know down below what your thoughts are, and I'll see you in the next video.